Welcome to episode 5 of Why Are You Bored When You Should Be Busy? We talked about in the last episode, which is very, very important because I think this is a real hindrance and a block to why people stay where they are and don't become busier. And that is that when they think about personal change, they think it's a huge thing that they have to do, a massive goal that they have to set for themselves, and it's going to require more work and more planning and more thought than they've ever spent on anything in their life, and that is way too intimidating to them, so they resign to stay where they are. That's why people settle. That's why they become complacent. It's because the thought of change requires way too much work, and so they settle with themselves. That's why it's always been my contention that when the desire for something better becomes stronger than your fear or reluctance to do the work, you're gonna move forward. You have a desire to move forward, but you're more but the desire to move forward is not as strong as the strength of your fear or reluctance. But when that happens, when they switch and your desire for something better is stronger than your fear or reluctance to do the work, you're going to start moving forward. You're driven by desire. You're driven by interest. And the problem with boredom is that there's no interest. It's a lack of interest, or it's dormant. And we need to stir these things up again. And it's hacking your mind, man. It's hacking your psychological state, and it's breaking open the things inside you that release your energy, release capacity, release passion, and possibilities will happen. Also, I mentioned in the last episode that what you want to do is, instead of envisioning this big, huge thing, you just take an area that you are interested in, and I don't care what it is. Like I said, it could be celebrities, it could be fast food, it could be whatever. And do something related to those things, because we know we have some interest that would help you. And like I said, if you're interested in fast food, you eat at McDonald's, you like that, whatever, then read about the history of McDonald's. If it's celebrities, then read about a famous entertainer, whatever. It could be a contemporary person that's living or somebody who's died. Just because you have some interest there, read about them. Maybe the book is full of drivel. Well, who cares? You're doing something different than just wasting time. You're getting yourself engaged in action for learning. That becomes eventually something else. And that's important, man. That is an important thing for you to do, because we're trying to retrain you. We're trying to develop you. In our the meetup that I just did here recently in New Jersey, one of our participants, whose name is Willie, shared with our whole group about, he had read an article of mine about reading books. And he said he'd never really been a reader. He didn't read books at all. And so he was challenged by that article, and he kept it on his phone or whatever so he could read it. And he went ahead and gave it a shot. And he told me that since the beginning of this year, 2017, and we're in August now, he's read 6 books. Think about that, man. There's a lot of people that haven't read 6 books in 6 years, 16 years. He's read 6 books so far this year. Do you think that hasn't made a transformation in his life? Just take some action. Forget the big goal. Forget the whatever. Let's just get you creating new habits. Let's just stir up some interest in you. Stir the pot. That's the point. I'm not asking you to completely lose weight or get rich or fix I'm not asking for any of that. All I'm suggesting is let's change some things, man, because over time those changes will be significant. Over time you're going to start to add to them. Like I just said with Willie, he's not just going to read another 6 books in the next 6 months. No. He's going to add other things to that. It's going to have a net effect on other areas of his life. And he's going to be greater and greater transformed. It's going to affect more areas. He's becoming a completely different person. Isn't that badass? Isn't that awesome? It's simple things. It's little things. Don't be intimidated by the big goals. Start with something small and watch it grow. As you become accustomed and adjusted and get a taste for achievement, as you get a taste for getting things done, it's self-reinforcing. It's going to fuel you because you're going to see results. You're going to see changes, and you're not ever going to say you're bored again. You're not ever going to say you're lonely again. You're not ever going to say you're out of work again. You're going to become a completely different person. You're going to be a go-getter. You're going to be a forward thinker. You're going to be a contributor and an asset to society instead of a liability. Can you dig it? Hope you can.